Today is Monday, November the 30th. It is morning in Los Angeles and morning in America. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my morning political thought. All right, I don't really have any, I guess you could say they're side news stories. It's a combination of stories going on right now, which is what my morning political thought is about. Now, on Saturday on the Purple Elephant Show, I did the episode talking about what the judge said because there was a judge, Judge McCullough in Pennsylvania, who said the Republicans had a case and it was a separate lawsuit. That lawsuit had nothing to do with the Trump campaign because, like I said before, the media keeps putting out that the Trump campaign is losing all of these lawsuits or this and that. And probably at least 2/3 or more of these lawsuits that are floating around throughout all of these states have nothing to do with the Trump campaign. The Trump campaign, they are filing their own separate lawsuits. Any wins that these other lawsuits may produce are just icing on the cake, is what they are. But with that one that I mentioned this weekend, what the judge said, I also mentioned that we'll see what happens when it goes to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Because, as I said before, the judge was like, hey, there's a case here, it can move forward, yada, 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 whatever. And I told you the Pennsylvania Supreme Court is mostly liberal, left, whatever you want to call it, leaning. And the Pennsylvania Supreme Court looked at it and said, well, there's something here, but they didn't file in time because according to some law on the books, you have to file within a year and they didn't do that. And then somebody else makes the case of how could we file anything because we wouldn't have standing because there wouldn't be injury because the election hadn't happened yet. So you wouldn't be able to file anything until after the election happened. So everyone has their opinions about it, but long story short, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court just was like, no, this isn't going to fly. You were too late. So it isn't necessarily back to square one because some of the people in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said, yeah, within the law itself, there is something here. You just didn't file in time. So it seems like the situation will be reviewed. It's just the relief that they were looking for, they won't get it because the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said they don't have the ability to seek that relief because they did not file it in time, even though I think that's BS, but I'm not on the bench. And then also in Georgia, which I am flabbergasted right now with what's going on in Georgia. So there's a lawsuit looking to impound the voting machines, the Dominion voting machines, to make sure people don't scrub them and delete stuff off of them and everything else. Well, there was a judge that blocked being able to take the machines away and scrub them and everything else. Then he unblocked it. And then he blocks again. So he blocked the Secretary of State and Governor Kemp from being able to wipe the voting machines, which the question is, why are they in such a hurry to wipe the voting machines if there's nothing to hide? If there isn't anything to hide, then you would just go ahead and say, here, look at the machines. We don't care. You will see that Biden won. But they're not like that. They're like, oh, no, we have to wipe down the machines. We have to wipe down the machines. I'm like, yeah, nothing suspicious about that. So with this article, I'm just going to read it to you. A federal judge presiding over a major election lawsuit in Georgia on November 29th issued and then reversed an order directing the state to cease and desist wiping and resetting election machines. Defendants are ordered to maintain the status quo and are temporarily enjoined by wiping or resetting any voting machines in the state of Georgia until further order of the court. U.S. District Judge Timothy Batten Sr. wrote in an emergency order issued on November 29th, which was yesterday. The judge reversed the order not long after, explaining that the defendants aren't in possession of the machines. And he said plaintiff's request fails because the voting equipment that they seek to impound is in the possession of the county election officials. Any injunction the court issues would extend only to defendants and those within their control. And plaintiffs have not demonstrated that county election officials are within defendants' control. Defendants cannot serve as a proxy for local election officials against whom the relief should be sought, the judge wrote. The change, of course, by the judge drew a flabbergasted response from Lynn Wood, which I told you guys about Lynn Wood. Him and Sidney Powell know each other, an attorney associated with the Trump campaign. But Lynn Wood is still doing his own thing. He's associated with them, but he's still doing his own thing. So I'm making that clear for you guys. And it says, what judge reversed order based on defendant's claim that GA counties control voting machines, Wood wrote on Twitter, adding that the machines are owned by the state and that the Georgia Secretary of State administers elections. Why are Georgia officials determined to wipe these machines clean by resetting them? The plaintiffs in the lawsuit on November 29 filed an emergency motion to include an affidavit featuring a November 25th message from an election official stating that the ballot counting machines would be reset to zero on November 30th before performing a recount. Wow. The process will begin with an LNA resetting the machine to zero to begin the recount. The text of the message stated before describing the specifics of the recount process. An affidavit written by a Republican poll worker who says he or she addressed concerns about wiping the machines to the election manager. Because the plan on Monday is to wipe the voting machines clean and start from zero so that we can recount using those machines, I'm concerned by what I'm reading online, the poll worker wrote, according to the affidavit. I'm seeing lots of notices from lawyers about possibly impounding machines. The lawyers are now saying that the machine should be confiscated immediately before this happens to protect forensic data. They are saying those machines need to be impounded ASAP. Yikes. Maybe I'm overly paranoid, but let's be sure this is what we're supposed to be doing. The supervisor responded, is what we are supposed to do. It will take a court order to stop this, so I guess we need to keep watching the news. If we get a court order to stop, we will see in our SOS information. The issue is the Atlanta area has already started. When the poll worker asked if the reset will wipe the forensic info from the machines, the manager said that Atlanta already did it. So Atlanta has already wiped their voting machines. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Imagine that. So long story short, because this article is longer, but I'm not going to go into that. So the judge, and this was an update to the article, in a third order issued late Sunday night, a federal judge overseeing Sidney Powell's Georgia lawsuit granted a temporary restraining order on elections officials in Cobb, Gwinnett, and Cherokee counties to prohibit them from allowing alteration, destruction, or erasure of any software or data on any Dominion voting machines used in the 2020 elections. The judge's decision allowed Powell to amend the previous complaint to include the counties in possession of the voting machines. So the judge said, all right, I'm blocking you from doing it. All right, never mind, I'm not blocking you. And now the judge is like, all right, we're going to block in these counties and stuff. And these stories with Pennsylvania, with what happened with Pennsylvania Supreme Court, what's happening with this judge, and just other things is what my morning political thought is about. It's just that it feels sometimes like it's one step forward and two steps back is what it feels like. And I'm not at the break glass in case of emergency point. I'm nowhere near that. It's just frustrating. The process is frustrating. And I think for a lot of people, because it's like, okay, we see progress here, but then something comes in and it's like, okay, wait, just like we heard about some servers being captured and things like that, but we don't know where that's going to go. But as I said before, and also there's hearings happening today. It's either happening in Arizona or Nevada, I believe. I want to say Arizona. I'm at the Epic Times website right now. Let me see if there's anything recent. Wisconsin, Arizona to certify election results on Monday. That was 4 hours ago. Let me see if there's anything recent. Oh yeah, Dominion server crashes during Georgia recount. Convenient. Uh, Trying to look for anything else. Yeah, there's nothing else. Digital forensic analysis shows Dominion server connected to Iran. That was 3 days ago. From under the Michigan symbol. So, I mean, this is where we're at. And I know some people are frustrated. That's why I decided to do this one step forward, two steps back. There is a song that I always think of when I get frustrated or when things just are not um, working out sometimes. And it's an old song. It was like back in the 90s, I believe, 90s or the 80s. It's by Reverend Milton Bronson and the Thompson Community Singers. And the title of the song is For the Good of Them. And I said it that slow just in case somebody wants to look it up. It's called For the Good of Them. Reverend Milton Bronson and the Thompson Community Singers. And the song starts off, the race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to the one that endureth until the end. And then it'll continue. There will be problems. There will be times when you walk alone. But I know things will work out. Yes, they will, for the good of them who love the Lord. And it's a beautiful song. And also there's another song by Shirley Caesar called You're Next in Line for a Miracle. And one part in the song of You're Next in Line for a Miracle is saying that you kept the faith. And that's what people have to do. Good, bad, or indifferent, where it's like one step forward, two steps back. Just keep the faith. And worst case scenario, if they manage to pull off the greatest heist in American history, one thing I've heard, I watch a lot, I'm into many things. I listen to different types of religions. I listen to new age knowledge. I respect many things because it's all connected to one source. The energy, you can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it whatever. It's all one source of energy is what it is. One of the best ways that was explained, if you're into anime, was Magi, I believe was the name of that anime, where it was talking about the source of energy, where everything is connected to the source of energy. And that's what people draw upon. But I honestly believe everything will work out. And if it doesn't, like one person said, she's a tarot card reader. And she's so funny. She cusses a lot. Ice Cream Dreams Tarot. She said, karma is a silent and slow moving gangster. So on the off chance that they manage to pull the heist of the century, I have no doubt that there will be karmic retribution. I have no doubt in my mind. But also, I'm 85 to 90% confident President Trump will be in the White House. I'm not saying that it's fully guaranteed because he won the election. My premonition already told me he was going to win before that happened. President Trump won the election. So don't let anybody ever tell you different. Don't let them throw stuff out. Don't let them try to convince you. If you are on the fence and you're like, well, I don't know, he may be in all the Democrats stay home, so they probably mailed. No, I'm telling you what I know for a fact. President Trump won the election. It is not up for debate. We don't need to have a discussion about it. We don't need to sit and meditate on it. He won the election, period. It's not up for debate. So that's a given. As for him making it across the finish line, 85 to 90% sure, give or take, is where I'm at right now. I'm not saying that it's impossible for Joe Biden to get in the White House. I'm just saying 85 to 90% sure President Trump will make it over the finish line. If he doesn't, then grab your popcorn and sit back and watch what happens. Because I promise you, something will happen. It may not be immediate, or it may be by 1,000 cuts, like falling and spraining your ankle. But either way, it's going to be a win. So if you find yourself being frustrated by the situation, do your best not to be, because I had to reflect on some things. And this is where I'm at now. Anyways, that's all I have for my morning political thought. Thank you guys for supporting the purpleelephantshow.com main podcasting platform, the Purple Elephant Show on Parler, the free speech platform, the Purple Elephant Show on Instagram. If you're watching this on BitChute, YouTube, or Dailymotion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for YouTube, followed by the notification bell. That will let you know when I upload new videos. Thank you again to everyone for your support, for watching the show on BitChute. I have a lot of BitChute watchers. Thank you guys. And also for listening to the show on podcasts, which I have podcast listeners all over, especially in the United States and Ireland, of all places. So shout out to Ireland again. So yeah, until next time, be blessed.